Walking Macau Streets. Dear Lord, show me a sign. Give me a map. Oh yeah.
And the street is very small, but it's funny because if you lived here, you would be right in the middle of a lot of stuff. Got it. So we got these little cubes right here. So we're gonna walk back down, and we're gonna walk back by Peixe Street again. This little lane is called Beco du Peixe. So we're going to focus on this tiny little space in here, but we're also going to focus on this whole area in here because there's a lot of interesting stuff, including all the way down that way. There's these side streets that go down this way, and there's side streets that go down this way as well. So what we're going to do on this one is just kind of walk around a little bit with a focus on Peixe, and we're going to start there. There's also stuff down this way too. There's a cool thing in here, so we're going to capture all that. But this is going to be our target right here. Beco du Peixe. Let me just get across real quick. Right there. Okay, so we got a little Beco right here, Beco du Peixe. So there's a little bit of traffic moving around behind me. So what I'm going to do first is go into it. The first thing you see is this little store, little corner store here. And the street is very small, but it's funny because if you lived here, you would be right in the middle of a lot of stuff. And we're going to try to capture all the stuff that you're in the middle of and grounding it to this street called Beco du Peixe. Looks like here's an apartment, so you would navigate into there. So now we're going to capture it this direction here. So imagine you live in Beco du Peixe, fish lane it would be called. So if you lived where that gentleman lived and you came out here, you would have a little market store. Let me go across this way. That guy came out of, here. Let me just check that real quick. How did he do that? Was he already here already? Or did he come out of here? Let me just see what's in here real quick. Oh, okay. So that's actually, oh, okay, let me get out. Sorry. So actually, this actually goes into this little parking space. So it looks like this is why that person came out of here. So we would have came down that ramp. And so that's actually an apartment building with scooters that can park there. And I saw that when I looked inside, I could see that there were scooters parked in these apartments. So if you have a ground level apartment, you can actually bring your scooter in and you can actually park in Beco du Peixe. That's interesting. So we have a lot of different spaces we could go into. So we're gonna attempt to capture, I got this space and we got this space. So let's go to the right. And we're basically in this little area called Patane. And there's like little labyrinths of interesting stuff everywhere in here. Let's just follow this way because this was part of that building that we saw was over there. So our Peixe Street went into, it walked, let me just capture this whole thing. So this is one side of the Peixe Street. So the people that have these apartments have these windows and you can see the color scheme. And then they went into here and they could park. So they might have even went into this garage as well. So that's kind of interesting. Okay. So now we're in this little labyrinth of cool stuff. So remember that Peixe Street is over here, Beco du Peixe. We're gonna walk in this little patio area, and that also kind of shows you the vibrancy and the coolness of this area. And over here you got Macau 1881. They have some really good food here. I would love to go eat there. I'm gonna have to get something to eat there. So we're gonna so that's our target street right there, the Peixe. Let's look up a little bit. There's all kinds of cool stuff everywhere, and there's a restaurant here, and I kind of have to get some food anyway. So this is called Macau 1881. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna get something, and then we're gonna walk back over there. And then just to give you a little context of stuff, there's also we're at the side of Peixe Garden right here as well. So that's a little temple right next to a beautiful park, one of the main parks. And we're gonna walk back to our Peixe Street in a moment. But let's go over here, get something to eat first. So okay, so I'm gonna get something to eat real quick. But there's some nice music here, and there's a nice courtyard. So let me just kind of show you what's around here. So you can sit at this restaurant, and I'm gonna get those little cubes right there. So I'll show those when they arrive, but I'm just gonna get this one right here. So you can also get, is that churrasco? But you can get lots of different stuff. The Portuguese sausage is churrasco. That looks pretty interesting too. Actually, that does as well. So anyways, I'm gonna be sitting right here, and then this is just down the ways from Peixe Lane, and we're gonna navigate back in that way in a moment. Got it. So we got these little cubes right here. Tasty. Okay, so we're gonna be heading down that way in a moment. Okay, so that's Macau 1881, and we're just gonna walk back to Peixe. So yeah, so that's kind of that little Peixe is right over there. And you got some really cool little alleys, and it's funny because Peixe wouldn't be what you would call this area at all. It's just a little patio right next to it. But this area has like a ton of little stuff everywhere. You know, like different, like I think this street, this is Pedro, I think, and so this street kind of has a lot of different types of things everywhere. These little alleys, because this is a part of what used to be historically Patane village. So you got these little alleys like this, and they go up to Peixe Park, and then down this way would be the waterway. So we're just kind of meander in here a little tiny bit, and let's just kind of make sure we, so that's where we started at, was over there, Peixe Street. But you can also see all this other little stuff in here everywhere, right? There's another, that was Pedro Street. This is a little Beco called Lage, and then this is Patane Street. So you just have a mix of different things in here. So we're gonna walk back down, and we're gonna walk back by Peixe Street again. And so we got our little Peixe Lane, which is right there. And we went into this little labyrinth of cool stuff here. So this is this, we'll just kind of mark it real quick just so you can see it again. So again, that's Peixe. In English, that means fish. The mouth of the fish. Beco means like mouth. This doesn't mean mouth, it means like patio kind of thing. So let me see. So this is Harmonia Street that goes all the way down. I'm gonna try to make sure we don't get hit by a car here. Okay, a lot of cars. So this Pedro Street just keeps on going down, and there's more interesting stuff all the way down. A nice temple, more little patios in these little ways as well. I'm just gonna capture this a little bit just so you can kind of get the full meaning of what I mean. But yeah, you get these other little lanes in here, and this one I think was I looked that up before, cordoeiro, and I think it meant like either rope making, I think, or pigskin maker, something like that. So so a lot of those names have these interesting historical Portuguese, they're named from the Portuguese names, and then there's the Chinese names. And so you get these really creative names sometimes. But we're gonna head back to Peixe Street, which is this little one right here. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, so actually there's a whole other building right there as well. So yeah, Peixe Street. And then Harmonia is on the other side. So let's end it right there. And it looks out into that one. Pretty cool. Peixe. 2024. Let's check out Macau. Come on.
Toma cuidado la